Good morning. It's March 6th. This is To My Liberal Friends. Yesterday, the House of Representatives held a hearing on what are referred to as sanctuary cities. The mayors of New York, Chicago, Boston, and Denver were called to testify. What that means is Eric Adams from New York, Brandon Johnson from Chicago, Michelle Wu from Boston, and Mike Johnson from Denver had to come before Congress and justify why they're willing to harbor illegal immigrants in their cities who have committed crimes, some of them heinous crimes. It's a very interesting hearing, and overall the mayors refused to back down. The defense they brought up by the mayors was that people, including immigrants, are willing to report crimes to the police and work with them. If they fear being identified and arrested, they are less likely to report crimes, even the ones committed against them. It's a refrain that we've heard before, and frankly, it does not resonate if the administration is going after the very immigrants that are committing the crimes being reported, when you think these mayors would cheer them on to remove the criminal element from their cities. But all these big city mayors are Democrats, and within their political party there is strong resistance to any enforcement of immigration law. These mayors are often ignoring the outcry by citizens within their own cities to do something. They seem impervious to the cost of illegal immigrants to the taxpayers and the reshuffling of city resources that would normally go to the citizens. Mayor Johnston played cute when asked if Denver was a sanctuary city, and he said no, we're a friendly city. Mayor Wu called on the committee to bring Tom home before Congress and put him under oath. This was the basic defiance they showed. In the end, the mayors went back to the most common defense of harboring illegal immigrants by saying it was the fault of Congress for not passing a new immigration bill, and referred to the so-called bipartisan immigration bill that failed in the last Congress. They said it was up to Congress to fix the immigration problem because only Congress can. I have to assume that they're not been paying attention to the southern border these days, because the number of illegal crossings has certainly changed since Trump took office. I think all of us can remember Joe Biden and his Homeland Secretary, Alejandro Mayorkas, telling us all that the border was secure. Over and over, they reiterated this claim before the media and before Congress. Finally, they had to tacitly admit it was not secure, and their defense, they'd not been given the tools to secure the border. They banked on the immigration bill they had helped craft, and a couple of Republicans were foolishly duped into thinking it was a good bill. This is where the mayors were drawing their defense, so we have to look at what the actual facts are. The 2024 bill failed. It was a confidence trick all along, crafted by Biden's own Department of Homeland Security to codify the administration's illegal boarding busting policies. But regardless of policy, leading voices in media and policy circles asserted that mass migration was simply inevitable. Biden and his allies claimed it was impossible to control the border without the changes included in that so-called bill. Then Donald Trump was elected as president, and he had campaigned on the immigration issue, which was high on the list of issues voters concerned about. Suddenly things began to change at the border. Border Patrol Chief Michael Banks has reported in February, Trump's first full month in office, apprehensions of illegal aliens at the southern border fell from an average of about 3,500 a day in October, the month before the election, to an average of fewer than 300 a day last month, a 90% decline. Chief Banks said it was the lowest month in recorded history. And that didn't happen because conditions in Latin America and elsewhere, long claimed to be unaddressable because of the crisis, suddenly changed on January 20th. It happened because the Trump administration reversed the Biden policies. The most immediate impact came from ending the catch and release program that Biden administration was using. Immigrants would cross the border and simply turn themselves in, be processed, and either be taken to a bus station or to a migrant assistance center. They would be given a piece of paper requiring them to show up for a hearing that in many cases was years away. By eliminating this policy, the incentive to enter the United States illegally dropped precipitously. If you're coming from either Latin America or somewhere else in the world, it is expensive to get there, and now the odds of successfully entering the country have dropped. What we now see is that Biden had the tools to stop illegal immigration. He just refused to use them. Trump is using every tool he has, and it's working. Biden would ask Mexico for help, and they would give him some token assistance. Trump demanded help and got unprecedented assistance from Mexico. He did this by threatening tariffs on Mexico and has prodded the Mexican government to take action. The second part of the Trump plan, the one the mayors are just realizing is going after those who are already in the country illegally, and starting with those who committed crimes either in the U.S. or in their home country. And once caught, they're being sent back to their country of origin. That action has a chilling effect on those who want to cross the border illegally today. They're now reluctant to spend that money we spoke about, only to find they're ultimately going to be sent back. And the last thing the mayors failed to remember, or just did not want to, was the House of Representatives actually passed the immigration bill in the last Congress, only to have it never be considered in the Democratic Senate. Perhaps they would urge the House to pass that bill again and send it to the Senate. But then Democrats would filibuster the bill, and it would never get to the President. So much for asking Congress to do its job. They only want it done when it favors their position. This has been To My Liberal Friends. Thanks for listening.